It's high time I talked about the Pico 4. I'm going to try and do it as quick as possible without too much waffle. Now this is the third headset I've had. The first two had terrible mirror. I did YouTube short videos complaining about that. Obviously they had some quality control issues. Hopefully they got past that now, but this one is a quality headset. I wouldn't say there's no more. If I really look for it, I can see it. If I really look for it, but at this point it's non-existent in game. I certainly won't notice it. So yeah, this is a quality headset. And in fact, the Pico 4 itself is a quality headset for £380 for the 128GB model. It's certainly good value for money. It's £20 cheaper than it's compared to the Quest 2. And in fact, it's even better value because this comes with a better head strap instead of the fabric one that comes with this. If you want a hard head strap like this, it's going to cost you another £60. So you're 80 quid. You're 80 quid better off already buying the Pico 4. Let's rattle through it. Resolution is better, 2160 by 2160 per eye as opposed to 1832 by 1920. With a slightly better FOV. It's not a generational leap. It's barely an upgrade. Yeah, you can notice it when you go back to back. This is a little bit sharper and slightly bigger FOV, but it's nothing to write home about. It has colour pass-through, which is great. The part, it's not brilliant, you know, it's not one-to-one with the real world, but it's better than the pass-through on the Quest 2, if that means a lot to you. It has active cooling, which I actually think is fantastic. Once the fan kicks in, you can hear it, but you'll soon forget about it, or certainly not notice it in game. If you've got any misting up, that will go immediately. And if you're still wearing a headset, when you power it down, when the fan goes off, you realise how warm you are without it. It makes a big difference. So I do actually really like that. I do love that it can flap up. Every headset should be able to do that. The amount of times it's just useful when you're doing something on your PC, setting something up, fiddling with some settings. You know, you don't have to put it all the way on. In fact, just hold it by the strap, and, you know, looking at the monitor, whatever. And especially I imagine for glasses wearers, pop it over first, pull it down. Every headset should be able to do that. But comfort wise, it is very comfortable because it's very light, and obviously the form factor is a lot smaller than the Quest 2 because of the pancake lenses, but it's very light, very nicely balanced with the battery on the back. The face shield, I find it perfectly fine, comfortable. Not as comfortable as my VR cover one on here, but they are going to support the Picos, so you know, down the line that's not going to be an issue anyway. But yeah, it's a comfortable headset, I would say, for me. Some people have said it's too narrow, but maybe I've got a small head. I don't find that to be a problem. But yeah, comfort wise, not an issue. And in fact, the light blocker, the nose thing there, is very comfortable, doesn't irritate at all, and does a good job of blocking the light. What else we're going to talk about here? There's no 3.5mm jack for headphones. If that's a problem for you, personally I just use the inbuilt audio. I play wireless. I only use the Quest 2 and this for wireless PCVR gaming in the other room where I've got no other external sounds to worry about. So for ease of use and comfort, I just use inbuilt audio. I have no problems with that. I do like that the volume buttons are on the arm here. It does mean you can't really replace the head strap if you wanted to do your own 3D print or buy a third-party head strap. That's not a thing for this headset. Tracking's basically the same. That's that. Tracking's great. Controllers are very nice, actually, very premium. I do really like these controllers, and this design of this ring round here is fantastic. This should be the norm now for controllers tracked this way, because you know, in numerous games where you got to do stuff close, it's just fantastic. You're not knocking into each other. You can get so close up. Very comfortable, and an extra button, which is nice. It's not a big thing, but how the battery goes in and out is great. The Quest 2, the Quest 1 had a bit of a problem where the battery cover could slide as you're playing with it. It's not really a problem on the Quest 2, but this certainly can't do that because of how it goes in. So yeah, the controllers, I think they're fantastic, really. A few negatives though with this headset, so let's get into that. Let me first say the pancake lenses have a really good sweet spot. They're not edge to edge clear like the Quest Pro, and obviously the price difference, you shouldn't expect that. There is a sweet spot, it's just quite large, but it doesn't go, it's not 100% clear right to the edge. But also, I noticed this even more on the Quest Pro. I guess it must be something to do with the nature of the pancake lenses. Is in the dark scene, I get an orange kind of haze around the very edges. And I've seen this in multiple headsets, so it's not just like I've got a 41. This is obviously part of the makeup. And most of the times it's not a problem. It was a problem in Resident Evil 4. I see it's very noticeable in that, almost like a bit of an orange wash in some scenes on the Quest Pro. It's less, I'd say it's less pronounced in this, but it can be there in some dark scenes. It's not a massive problem. It's not, you know, really off-putting. It's just something you might notice it. If you're like me, once I notice any issues, I tend to focus on them. It's really annoying, but yeah. Also, it's not completely glare-free. It doesn't have Fresnel lenses like this, so there's no rings or God rays in the same way that you do get in the Quest 2. But it's not without any kind of glare. And it's not just me saying it, other YouTubers have talked about it. It's got its own glare, which, for example, I was playing Moss in a dark scene, and I would see almost like lens flare, like a blue haze, a blue cloud, where there wasn't any blue. You know, should have been pretty much black. It's not terrible. It's no sharp glare. It's just, kind of a little bit of haze in a little bit of area that can move around, but it's not terrible. It's not. I wouldn't say. So I wouldn't say it's not no glare, and it's not really better than the Quest 2. It's just different. So it's subjective, whatever affects you more, I guess. But don't expect it to be completely glare-free or edge-to-edge clear. The two biggest problems I have, only because I'm really going back-to-back with each one, is the Pico 4 is less bright. There's no way around it. You can watch videos and some give the impression that it's brighter. No, it's not. And if you actually listen to the other YouTubers, to what they're saying, it isn't as bright. And in fact, a lot of users, including myself, go so far as to download an Android settings APK, and you can boost the brightness up a little bit more. It makes almost no difference, but it's better than nothing. And you can change color setting to boosted. In the Pico 3 you can change it to brilliant, which gives a bit more vibrancy. In this you can't. You have to use the Android settings APK, which you've got to download, and you can change the colours to boosted. Because yeah, it is less bright and less vibrant than the Quest 2. But that's going back to back. If you don't have a Quest 2, if you just buy this, or if you do have a Quest 2 and just buy this and live with it, obviously it will become normal and you'll be fine with it. The visuals in this are very good, you know, especially at the price. It's a very good looking headset. But I don't, because there's pros and cons and differences, I don't really see it as an upgrade to the Quest 2. It's just different in a few ways. Physically, I think it is a better headset, and you know, cost-wise, it's a better headset. But yeah, pros and cons. So just a couple of other things. This has inbuilt video stabilization when you're recording it in a headset. It works fantastically. I've done a video showing that on Automobilist before. Works really well. This you can obviously record, but there's no stabilization. Maybe they'll add that in the future. I don't know. It's just a nice feature. The streaming software's okay, but you're better off buying Virtual Desktop. But to be fair, that's the same with the Quest 2 anyway. Virtual Desktop is awesome. We all know that. And really, hopefully that will just be the norm going forward on any headset. I will be sending this one back. As I say, it's still got all the protective stickers on. I'll be sending it back not because it's a bad headset. It is a very good headset, and if you don't have VR, if you're looking to get into VR, I would probably say, yeah, go for the Pico 4 instead of the Quest 2 at this point. But if you've already got a Quest 2, not really an upgrade. I wouldn't say buy this and look to sell this. Stick with the Quest 2 until the next thing comes along. It's not a generational leap in any way. And certainly, if like me, you might be into the ecosystem a little bit. I've got a VR cover, I've got the battery head strap, I've got a couple of games on the Oculus Quest store, a couple of controller accessories. It's not worth me just trying to get rid of all that and stick with this when I can send this back and wait for the next big thing, because this isn't really an upgrade. There are some improvements, but it's not the Quest 2.5 or whatever, you know. So yeah, that's about it really. I think that's pretty much covered everything, my thoughts. In summary, great headset. Get it as your first headset if you're looking to get into VR now, and that's the budget you're looking at. But yeah, otherwise that should do it. Any questions or comments, drop below. I'll always try to answer. But otherwise, I'll catch you later. Cheers.